Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I extend my warm welcome to each and every one of you. I am Crystal Custudio, and today we come together to embark on an intellectual journey, delving into the captivating realm of the philosophical thought. Therefore, my dear audience, I invite you to open your minds and hearts to an exploration of the interpretation and philosophical frameworks of philosophers that have crafted throughout the history. Our focus, a subject of everlasting fascination and contemplation, none other than the diverse perspective of our philosophers on the concept of self. Who is Plato? Plato was a Greek philosopher, and he is considered one of the most important figures in the history of Western philosophy. Plato believed that the self is composed of two parts, a mortal soul and a mortal body. According to his philosophy, the soul is the eternal and immortal essence of a person, while the body it is a perishable and temporary vessel. For Plato, soul is a giver of life. Body is a shell of our soul. It means that for Plato, the soul is the essence or core of a person providing them with life. The body, on the other hand, is seen as a temporary container for the soul to reside in during person's existence. So overall, for Plato, self is a mortal soul in a mortal perishable body. Who is Saint Augustine? Saint Augustine was a 4th century philosopher, and he is considered one of the most influential figures in the development of Western Christianity. According to Saint Augustine, ang sarili natin ay binubuo sa dalawang parte. Ito ang physical body at ang immaterial soul that are fundamentally interconnected. According to Saint Augustine, ang purpose ng soul natin is to seek God. However, the body's corruptible nature makes it difficult for us to pursue this goal. Saint Augustine believed that we humans created in the image of God and possess a rational soul that distinguishes them from other creatures. So overall, Saint Augustine believed that the self is divided into two. It is the body and the soul. Who is Saint Aquinas? Saint Aquinas is widely regarded as one of the influential philosophers in the history of Western thought. He believed that the self is divided into two parts. It is the body and the soul. The reason for Aquinas holds the highest position among human faculties because it enables individual to understand and engage the world rationally. Naniniwala siya na ang reason ay nagbibigay daan sa pagdedesisyon at paghahanap ng katotohanan. So overall, Saint Aquinas believed that the self is divided into two parts. It is the body and the soul. At dapat nangingibabaw ang reason among human beings. Who is John Locke? John Locke was an English philosopher and one of the most influential thinkers in the field of understanding the self, also known as the father of liberalism. Freedom to alter one's own soul, it means that the individuals have a choice to act according to themselves. According to Mr. John Locke, our mind is a blank slate. So sa madaling salita, ang isip ng tao ay isang blanko na talaan o tabula rasa na unti-unting napupuno ng iba't ibang kaalaman at karanasan sa buong buhay ng isang tao. So habang nag-grow tayo as individual, nakakagain tayo ng different knowledge from our surroundings. John Locke believed that God created humans, therefore we are God's property. Our main purpose, according to Mr. John Locke, it is to survive as individual and as a species. He also emphasizes the importance of self-preservation and the continuation of human existence. John Locke emphasizing the equality of human beings and the absence of the natural authority that justifies the destruction and domination of one another. So, ang punti ni John Locke dito ay may pantay-pantay tayong halaga na dapat hindi natin gamitin ang ating kapangyarihan para saktan at siraan ang bawat isa. So, overall, John Locke believed that the self is the product of the mind that is constructed through experiences and interactions with our environment. Who is Gilbert Ryle? Gilbert Ryle was a British philosopher who known for his works in the field of philosophy. Ryle believed that the mind and body were intertwined, that there's no distinct self apart from actions and behaviors of an individual. I act, therefore I am. Ryle's interpretation suggests that one's existence is not only based on thinking, but also based on the actions they undertake. So overall, Gilbert Ryle believed that the way we do things defines the self. Who is Paul Churchland? Paul Churchland is a Canadian philosopher known for his work in the philosophy of mind and philosophy of science. Churchland believes that our sense of self is ultimately reducible to physical processes in the brain, and our subjective experience is a result of a neural activity. So, according to Paul Churchland, all we have is the brain. So, kapag wala tayong utak, wala rin tayong tinatawag na self. So, for Churchland, it is the physical brain and not the mind that give us our sense. So, overall, according to Paul Churchland, the self is the brain. Who is Maurice Merleau-Ponty? Maurice Merleau-Ponty was a French philosopher who contributed significantly to the field of phenomenology. For Ponty, self is not a disembodied entity, but rather an embodied subjectivity. It means that the self is intimately tied to the body and cannot separated from it. The self can never be truly objectified or known completely objective sort of a way. So overall, according to Ponty, the self is an embodied subjectivity. Who is Charles Horton Cooley? Charles Horton Cooley was an American sociologist. For him, the people whom a person interacts with, it become a mirror in which he view himself. So sinasabi niya na sa ating mga konsepto sa sarili ay isang pagmumuni-muni kung paano o ano ang nakikita ng ibang tao sa atin. Since these perspectives are subjective, there might be some interpretations on how people evaluate us. So overall, for Charles Horton Cooley, it is the looking glass self.